Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Touch Not channel. Thanks so much for being here with me once again. My good friend Scotty Locke is here with us today. Scotty is a proprietor with Kilted Perspective Photography. And, I knew who Scotty was or what he was a long time before I knew Scotty. I'd see him here, I'd see him there. He'd be popping up on the field all over the place at all kind of events and all of the, I should say, parts of the events, all the little things. He'd be at the mass band's going across the field. There's Scotty out there with them, filming them up close. Same with the athletics and many other features. And I started to see him. Who the heck is that guy? I got to meet this guy. So that's what I did, my friends. About 3.5, 4 years ago, Scotty and I met, and ever since we've been great friends. And good to have you with us, Scotty.
It's great to be with you. Absolutely, man. About time I get on here. I've been watching all your videos since the beginning.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. I thought we'd have.
absolutely.
I thought we'd have a little conversation about the Highland games that we see each other at, the ones we don't see each other at, the some of the highlights maybe. I know we have a lot of friends in common, dozens,
Oh, yeah.
probably literally. Some of our favorite games, some of the things we've been through, the weather and different aspects like that.
Oh, absolutely, man. I'm trying to think back to the first game. Oh, man. I'm not sure. Do you remember what game it was that we first met at?
I'm
Was
thinking
it,
probably the no fame games at Milford. I know that I don't know that for certain, though, but
it was
um,
either that or it might have been that. I think it might have been that. That or Glasgow Lands 2022.
could have been that.
One of them. Something like that.
Yep.
The kilt I've been wearing for past years. That's the same tartan. It's my specific branch of Clan Donald's is Clan Reynold. Our specific branch, we Clan Reynold. I don't know how to spell. I don't know how to say it in the Scottish ancient Scottish Gaelic, but it was spelled Ruadhrii, and
Sure.
it was like Rodri or something like that. But I just butchered that horribly. But
No. Yep.
they were they were their own clan in the ancient times during like the early days of the Scottish kingdom when Scotland itself was still forming itself into the national identity that would later become the Kingdom of Scotland.
Yes.
Like pretty much when the Dalriadic Scots and the Picts were
Gotcha.
amalgamating at the time against the Saxons and stuff. So
Hmm.
they were their own clan kingdom at the time, and then they just very early on, very, very early on, amalgamated with the McDonald's when they were running their own kingdom of the Isles, essentially. It's
Yeah.
fascinating, man.
Absolutely. Yes, I say that word as Rory myself.
Rory, okay.
Yeah, I just say that
That would
as
make sense.
Rory. I know that may be a simplification, but that's how I say that. Um,
Okay. The year after we met, I drove up to Milford and we met in that rainy, dreary, cold,
oh,
blistery day.
that's right. Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
gave Scotty a message, my friends, and I was on the way to Milford to the field at Pheno to set up for the no fame games, do some measuring and I don't know, put out some cones maybe, whatever's going on there. And I said, Scotty wants to come down and meet me there and we'll just have a chat while we do stuff. And that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was a
ab-
nice little time.
Absolutely.
I still have that
Absolutely.
tripod you gave me.
Do you? That's good. That's
Still
good.
servicing fine. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep. So yeah, I was saying to myself, this guy's going to get himself run over out there one of these days, but it doesn't happen. He's got so many friends out there. I think they're watching out for him. They know he's a integral part of the games, right? You haven't got a tree off the side of the head yet, have you, Scotty?
No, no, there's been some close calls. There has been some times where, because when you're out on the field like that, especially when you've got multiple events being thrown at the same time,
Yep.
you'll have like men's amateur
Mm,
throwing Braemar over here, and then you've got women doing weight for distance, and these guys are throwing caber. And there's
sure.
been multiple times where I've been, standing there and I'm trying to like, because you're trying to get when you're doing the photo when you're shooting photo, you're trying to get as many shots as you can and be equally, fair about it with
Right.
the coverage as much as you can, right?
Sure.
But the problem with that is that everyone's throwing at the same time. So it's like, okay, that you have to gauge it. Like that person's about probably 5 seconds away from spinning up and throwing. And then that one's probably about 10 or 15 seconds away. So do I focus on the line on them and then shoot a jab over there real quick and shoot them real quick? And
Yep.
then when you get into that zone like that, there's been a few times where I've had all of a sudden I've heard Scotty, 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 and I'll look out real quick and
Mm,
there will be a caber flying towards me or wait for a wait
yep.
on a wait on bar or whatever.
Right.
But I've been all right. I haven't gotten hit.
Good for you. Yeah, it can be a challenge. I know that for a fact, trying to, like what I would say, share the wealth, right? Try to cover everything,
Yeah.
but I've met that in a way that I'll say to myself, well, at the next event, I'll cover more caber. Next event, I'll cover more hammer, rather than try to smear yourself so thinly on the field in one day. That's a tough row to hoe, really is, Scotty.
It is. Well, it's funny. There's I like doing a few of the games at the end of the year. Like there's a old MacDonald farm games thrown by some
Hmm.
fellow Clan Donald members out in
Yes.
Western Mass,
Oh, great.
and it's on private property. It's like backyards games essentially.
Yeah.
But a good like 50 to 80 people show up to throw every year, and they do like the men's mostly men and women's actually. Most of the caber gets thrown at the same time in the mid afternoon towards the end of the events, right?
Hmm.
So that makes it easier for me. I don't got to worry about getting hit with a caber. And the awesome part about that too is that I can position myself at the side of the field where they're going to be running towards. And ironically, over the past couple of years, I've had multiple people tell me they end up using me as a focal point to aim toward, to run towards, and to throw the caber towards. Because you know how it is with caber, you got to get a midnight shot, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
they'll use
sure.
me as a focal point, like, okay, run right towards the camera guy and then throw it at him. So it gives me some good shots. It makes it easier for them.
Oh boy. Kind of like fire at will, but it's fire at Scotty.
Right, exactly. And then I see it coming, so I know to move,
Right.
you know?
That's a riot.
So,
This is
yeah,
great,
it works
Scotty.
out.
I'm so glad you came on here. That's exactly how I knew it would be.
Absolutely, man. I'm glad to be here.
I told you it'd just be like us sitting down at the tent, and this is how it is.
I know, right? Me and you don't get much time to talk at the tents though, because you're always so busy running the Clan Hatton Confederation, and you
Yeah.
guys are such a lively tent. And people know Ray McHatton. You're very well known, my friend. And when there's an off chance that you're not at an event, it's like, wow, where's Ray? You know what I mean? What's going on here? So
Yeah.
it is
Yes.
good to be able to have a chance to talk. Definitely.
Yeah, same with you. And I'm glad when I do hear from you about New York because that's not in my scope somewhat. A little far from me travel wise, other things, and plus there's overlap in dates to a point or
Yeah.
closeness. So I appreciate hearing from you about Empire and other clubs out that way. Or I may have said that wrong, but out that way, I know Mac Dillman has
Yes. Yep.
things out there going on that you see. Is it Capital District? One of them?
Yes, it's Capital District, Albany, New York. It's
Oh yeah.
actually Altamont, New York. But it's the Albany metropolitan area. It's Capital District Scottish Games.
Yeah.
That's their home games. Empire Throwing Club.
Okay.
Um, and Mac Dillman is the founder of that, and he runs it. And then a bunch of the guys and girls from there, they compete all over New England as well. They come all the way up to the main games. Oh, they of course do
Hmm.
Glasgow because that's right down the road in Northampton, Mass, Western Mass.
Sure.
But they also just started doing. There's a very little known event called Thistle Day in Argyle, New York. It's
Hmm.
about, I would say 40 minutes northeast of Albany, going towards the Vermont line,
All right.
up in the hill country there. It's gorgeous. It's about, it's not that far south from Lake George, if anyone's familiar with Lake George in northeastern New York,
Yeah,
south of Champlain.
up the north way, up that way. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So Argyle, New York is a little tiny town that was originally founded by a majority of Scots from Argyle area in Scotland.
Hmm.
So they named the town Argyle. They
Wonderful.
had a annual Thistle Day celebration there for many years. I don't know all the details behind it. For some reason, I think around World War II, it went away. They ended up becoming a dry town for whatever reason. And I don't know why it came back around, but about 5 years ago, right around COVID might have precipitated it actually, because everyone was getting outside, they needed things to do. The
Yep.
town decided to restart Thistle Day after many years,
Oh,
and it's essentially a small town little celebration. And they Empire saw it as an opportunity to expand the Highland Games and
yeah.
bring it there, and it made a wonderful mesh, and intermeshing between the two. And
Right.
they've done it, I think, 3 years now, and it's a small little event, full Highland Games. They got tons of stuff for the kids.
Nice.
They don't really run a clan village or anything yet, but they're really working their ways up. And they actually this year just hosted the New York State Championships for Highland Games.
Oh, lovely. Yes. So I know the Albany one is um Labor Day. What's the time frame of the Thistle one?
It's okay, so yeah, so
Approximately.
Capital District in Albany is pretty much almost always the weekend after Loon Mountain. I'm sorry, the weekend after the main games. My apologies. So like
Okay.
the very end of August, beginning of
Yes.
September.
Yep.
Thistle Day is the weekend after Loon Mountain.
Oh, all right.
So we're talking about like the last week of September.
Okay. Yep. In the
I'm actually
Adirondacks.
working on my photos. My batch of photos from Thistle Day this year are what I'm currently going through now. Um, um, that's gonna be my next upload to a Kilted Perspective.
Okay. You know, that's good. I'm just picturing in my head, in my wildcat head here, it's got to be every bit as beautiful, every bit as the White Mountains at Loon. To be in the Adirondacks for Thistle Day the next
Mm-hmm.
week. I know it's not
Oh, it's
full,
gorgeous.
depending on the year and the weather, like this year, full foliage does not always happen when it's supposed to or whatever, but I can just see it's at least happening and coming to the peak. It must be beautiful.
Oh, you want to talk about like the Adirondacks like that? I think in that area, I think so for Altamont at Capital District Scottish Games. That is impressive. Well, you want to talk about impressive site. It's Loon Mountain impressive, Ray. It's gorgeous. It's literally on top of a plateau, a grassy plateau in like a in a valley in between these mountain ridges of I think those are the Taconics in that area.
Probably,
Um, and I'm telling you, we're talking serious peaks, serious ridges.
huh?
It's literally like being they're not the level of Loon Mountain peaks in the White Mountains, but it's probably 65, 70% of that. And it's beautiful. I mean, you're up there.
Yeah, I've been invited out there a few times by people that, say, can you get the Hatton to come out at Altamont? And perhaps one day I will. I should probably spread out that way a little bit if I can, even if it's just one time, just to say hello to everybody.
No, yeah,
Just,
but you definitely should. It'd be great. Um, I know the McGilverys are really represented well there
yes.
by Rob and Margot.
Hmm.
I don't know about like any of the other ones like McBain or any other Clanhattan
Right.
clans, but they have a good clan turnout. It's they I would say, oh, I don't know, maybe 30 clans or so, 30 something clans.
Hmm.
Um, it's just the dynamic of it is very interesting. The way that they set it up, it's very, very family centric. They have the best setup for children at a Highland Games that I've ever seen in my life. They have a whole area dedicated to junior Highland Games and activities and games and festivities for the kids,
Wow.
right next to the main athletics field in the
Yeah.
center of the grounds. I mean, they've got everything you can imagine. They've got
Amazing.
um, it's amazing. It's too much to go into, but yeah, it really is. It's very, very family centric, very, very worth going to. I highly recommend if you're able to go to Altamont, New York, late August, early September, go. It's
Yeah.
well worth it.
Great. Now speaking of Scotty being my window on where I can't be, did you get to the Whaling Coast, the new one this year, my friends, the Whaling Coast Highland Games down in Connecticut with David Williams?
I did not make it, but my clan did. Clan
Oh,
McDonald.
great. Oh,
Yeah,
wonderful.
there was a few clans,
Good.
and a few food trucks. He was happy with the athletic turnout, from what I understand.
Hmm.
Um, they had to move it to right on. They had to move the location not too far away from the event time. So, um,
Oh,
from what I understand, there wasn't a huge turnout, but that's not surprising. First time throwing a
sure.
games, you
Right.
know what I mean? Um, but my clan folk that went, they had a good time. They said it was good.
Great. It's wonderful that the Clans supported David a little bit there. He's just getting his feet wet anyway. He's getting the
Right.
framework in. He's getting his publicity network, you might say, set up, all that kind of thing, which I think worked out rather well for him. And
That's
geez,
good.
he
Yeah.
had, I want to say he had 30 athletes or better. He was trying to hope for the 20, and I think he went over that. Um,
That's very respectable and very good for a first time.
and I think he got himself some good weather as well, Scotty. So that was
There's no
nice.
games in that area except for Scotland, Connecticut games now
Yep.
in Brooklyn. I mean, there's nothing there.
Right.
So I mean, it's if you can get the timing right, um, as far as time of year and not having conflict with the rest of the Highland Games season,
Yes.
I mean, that's a great area to have a games.
Right. Plus, just like we were talking about the mountains and the foliage, Scotty, this is your seafood and your wharf
Mm-hmm.
atmosphere, right? Your seaside village atmosphere. Wonderful New England. Another
No,
wonderful New England gem that I like to talk
100%.
about. Right.
Absolutely.
Yep. So what are some of our other let's see, favorite little things? Scotty will want I just something just popped in my head. His Scott was it Loon Mountain last year? Scotty's buzzing by my tent in a golf cart with somebody, and I put out my hand like so, and he gave me a five on the way by. It was just a
I think that was Loon Mountain. I was in the shuttle cart with this gentleman from Buchanan, from Clan Buchanan. He was
yeah.
shuttling
I,
me back over.
I
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt my conversation, my friends, to whoever I was talking to, but I saw Scotty coming by. I looked him in the eye, I put my arm out like that, and got his got his palm, and that was enough for us, right, Scotty? Just little
Right.
little Hawaii bud. Good to see
Oh
you.
yeah. Every time I see you, we're at the games. I'll yell out, "Touch not the cat!" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I have, yeah. So, I know. So, Clan McGilvery is obviously a proud part of Clan Hatton Confederation. Fun
Hmm.
fact: yes, I am a through and through Clan MacDonald. I am a Donald. I am a son of Somerlet. I'm a son of Donald. But one of my ancestors he married a Miss McGilvery. So I have a little bit of McGilvery blood in me. So
Hmm.
I have a special little connection with McGilvery and with, with you guys, and so it's special to me. You know what I mean? It might be 1% or 1.5% or something in the bloodlines, but
Yeah.
hey man, you know,
Well, that's enough Wildcat for me. It doesn't take much to for me to welcome you into the family, Scotty.
there you go. Thank you, man.
Yeah, we have a wonderful time at these games, my friends. I hope you've been there with us. If not, you've been traveling with the Wildcat here on the road, seeing the videos that I do and Scotty's stuff as well. He does an awful lot of things on Facebook. Um, a little while after one of the events, you'll if you look at one of the Facebook groups that's attached to that event. Scotty will have, geez, 412 things on there. I'll say like, oh my God. And then I'll take me back to that day beautifully, right around, take you in Scotty's boots, right around that field, my friends, right where he's walked, literally. And he walks a lot of mileage.
The kilt I've been wearing for past years, that's the same tartan. It's my specific branch of Clan Donald's is Clan Reynold. Our specific branch, Clan Reynold, I don't know how to say it in the ancient Scottish Gaelic, but it was spelled Ruadhrii, and
Sure.
it was like Rodri or something like that. But I just butchered that horribly. But
No, yep.
they were they were their own clan in the ancient times during like the early days of the Scottish kingdom when Scotland itself was still forming itself into the national identity that would later become the Kingdom of Scotland.
Yes.
Like pretty much when the Galeriotic Scots and the Picts were
Gotcha.
amalgamating at the time against the Saxons and stuff. So
Hmm.
they were their own clan kingdom at the time, and then they just very early on, very very early on, amalgamated with the MacDonalds when they were running their own kingdom of the Isles. Essentially, it's
Yeah,
fascinating, man.
absolutely. Yes, I say that word as Rory myself.
Rory, okay,
Yeah, I just say that
that would
as
make sense.
Rory. I know that may be a simplification, but that's how I say that. Um,
Okay. This year was my least active year for personal reasons and stuff like that. But
uh,
I got back into it in the second half and um 2026, boy, I'm telling you, I'm really looking forward to 2026. I just have a great feeling about the year. I think the year is going to go great. I think the Highland game season is going to be fantastic. We have a lot to look forward to, a lot that we're blessed with, and yeah, man. I mean, this the winter's always the down season, you know what I mean? And it's bittersweet, but you gotta have balance with other parts of your life. It can't be Highland Games and festivals all year. I mean, that would be heaven for me or you, but
right?
can't have it all the time. So, yeah.
Yeah, we simmered down a little bit during the fall and winter. I suppose we've got our, Robert Burns things coming up soon.
Yep.
Um, I'm actually hoping to have a segment about that with a gentleman that's been a friend of mine for, geez, 20 years about. He does the all the toasts and
Oh wow,
he
okay.
does the Robert Burns uh, persona, I guess is all I can really say. And I'm
Very good with
hoping
the
that,
vernacular and the pronunciation and
yeah,
yeah,
he does the toast, and he's very let's say sought after to do that.
that's
Um,
awesome.
so that's going to be a nice one.
Yeah, try to get some recording of that if you can, or get someone to. I'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
You doing the one thrown with Carter McPherson and Is that the
I
one
sh
you're going to go to?
yeah, I should be at that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
I'm
that's the
trying to make it. I've been trying the past. I tried to go last year, but I got real sick last year, so I didn't make it to the Robert Burns suburbs that I wanted to go to, other than the one in Maine that I worked on. But um, I depending upon the date, I'm going to try to make it to that. And I'm going to try to go to the one in thrown by St. Andrew's Society, Connecticut. That's
yes.
always at J. Timothy's in West Hartford.
Okay.
Um,
Good.
the some of the folks from St. Andrew's Society, Connecticut, that are involved with running the Litchfield Hills Highland Games, the new one up in Litchfield Hills past few years.
Sure, Kathy
They're
Sutherland.
Yep, Kathy Sutherland, and then
Hi,
some people from
Kathy.
my clan
Yep.
are involved in running that, and it's a nice, beautiful Robert Burns supper.
Oh, good.
We're doing our one in Maine, obviously, for the Maine St. Andrew's Society of Maine. That
Okay.
one's on the 17th of January. So,
17th. Okay.
yep.
All right. Yeah, so Scotty was just saying that the main St. Andrew Society is doing their Robert Burns on January the 17th. So
Hmm.
look that one up. There's several of them in the region. I'll be at Castleton Inn in Windham, New Hampshire with the Scottish Arts for Robert Burns Night, January the 24th on Saturday. Um,
Right day for his birthday.
yep. Yeah, Wildcat was born on the 28th, so that's close anyway.
Well, there you go. Happy early birthday, man.
Oh, thank you. Um, yeah, I like the fact that that coincides now. Growing up, I never thought of that or anything, but that's kind of a neat thing, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And I,
And it makes it all because we all try to it because it's part of the tradition to to do the Robert Burns night
mm,
on his birthday or as close to it as you can make it
right,
work. That if I feel like if you're able to go to more than one in a year, then you're blessed. You know what I mean?
sure.
If you have the time and the wherewithal and the energy to go to more than one, that is, so.
It's a wonderful evening. I was only at my first one about 2 years ago, and I just soaked up the culture. I was amazed and enthralled, and I'll not, I never want to go a year without one now.
Ironically, that was my first foray or experience with our shared heritage as a child.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh, really?
yeah, I was 7 years old. I believe I was seven, and I grew up, listening to. We had Celtic folk music playing in the house, and I spent a bunch of my childhood with extended relatives, cousins, and stuff, and
Hmm.
on their opposite side of the family, there was a lot of Scots Irish, so there was a lot more of the Irish influence. This is not on my mom's side. This is on uh, in-laws who married into other to my aunts and uncles. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
there was a lot of Scots Irish over there, and so we grew up listening to a lot of Celtic folk music, and I learned how to play. The first instrument I learned how to play is what made me fall in love with drums. I play the drums to this day. I don't play drums right now, but I've been playing drums on and off my whole life. I learned how to play the bodhrán drum from a very young age. I started when I was about six. Um, but we went to my brother and I got measured for kilts when we were
Okay.
seven, and we didn't know
Really?
what they were.
Wow.
And so we just get measured and we're like, doing what we're told because we're being good boys, Don't know what we're getting measured for. Something clothing, whatever. And then you don't think about it because you're a child.
Right.
Next thing we know, it's middle of winter
Boring.
and we're getting told we're going to go to some awesome fancy uh, dinner and you're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So then we get handed these kilts. We don't know what they are. My brother and I are looking at each other like, why are you asking us to put on dresses? You know what I mean? Like, what's up with this?
Right.
And then we got explained what they were and that they weren't dresses and that it was part of our heritage and we had this whole big talk about it and we were showing a bunch of things. And then we went to this Robert Burns supper. This is in North Texas. I believe it was thrown by Texas Scott, which is now a defunct organization and no longer exists. They used to throw the North Texas Celtic Festival for
Hmm.
many, many years, up through the 90s, 2000s. And I remember we walked into this hall somewhere, and mind you, I know everything's larger than life when you're a kid, right? Everything looks
Yeah.
massively bigger.
Yep.
But I walk in with the family, and it's this dimly lit hall with this long, 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 long ornate table with fancy platters and dinnerware on it and decorations and flowers. And there's this massive, huge fireplace on the right side of the hall with a fire in it. And there's all these adults wearing fancy dress gowns, and there's men wearing kilts with big old bear, like some of them were, dressed for piping. So they're wearing bearskin hats and
Yep.
horsehair sporrans and everything. And it was all
Right.
just so, so much larger than life. And
Mm,
I'm just like, what's going on here? Like, this is
right.
crazy. Then the bagpipes started because they were piping in the haggis.
Yes.
And then I'm just like, I remember it to the day. It's raising the hairs on my arms right now, just thinking about it. Right,
Cool.
every hair on my body just like went up, and it was like spine tingling, and I was like, what
Wow.
is that music? Like, what is going on? And then they
Yes.
bring in the haggis, and the guy is doing the address to the haggis, and then he's
Oh,
stabbing the haggis, and he's acting like he's cutting people like he does in the address. And then and then everyone's like, to the haggis. And then we're sitting down and eating this food. And I remember eating the haggis, and I thought it was delicious, spicy meatloaf. That's what I
whatever
thought it
works.
was. Oh, well, yeah, I know. And yeah, that was my first Robert Burns. That was my first real foray into our culture when I was about 7 years old. Robert Burns supper. That would have been, well, that would have been 19. That would have been 1995, 1995.
Ah,
1994, 1995. Yeah. So, and then from there, um, we got into competitive Irish step dancing for years
hmm.
with the McTaggart School of Irish Dance of North Texas. We went to fetches and eructuses all over the Southeast United States doing competitions.
What were those words?
Um, I'm sorry?
What were those
Oh,
two?
a fesh, which is
Yes, please.
Irish Gaelic for like dance competition, and then the
Okay.
eructuses was like the championship competitions.
Oh, interesting.
So fesh would be Feis, and then eructus would be Oirechtas.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm probably not pronouncing them correctly, but that's what we called them for years, fetches and eructuses. So we go
Cool.
to the fetches, you competed at the fetches, and
Yep.
then as you placed in the standings, you get, if you qualify to go to the championships, you go to the eructuses. I won
Hmm.
multiple. I never won gold, but I won silver and bronze at three different eructuses. One was in Atlanta, one was in St. Petersburg, Florida, one was in Denver, Colorado. My
Wonderful.
brother was an amazing hard shoe dancer because you have soft shoe and hard shoe for Irish step dance. He was amazing at hard shoe, and he actually qualified so well. He was going to be able to go to the Worlds in Dublin. It was amazing.
Hmm.
I can actually get you some photos of me with the board on drum and us doing in our Irish dance kilts, and because you wear kilts too
Yeah.
when but they're not like plaid kilts; they're just like standard color kilts. But
Yep.
I can get you some of those, man. So
Cool. What a wonderful narrative that was. Thank you for that, Scotty.
yeah, absolutely. It goes a long back, but and then when you become a teenager and you're growing up and you're doing
Yep.
your thing and you go and you sow your wild oats and you act crazy and you run the world gambit and you just go nuts, and then you come to your senses and you become an adult and you grow up and you start going back to connections to things that have intrinsic value in your life and the things that matter the most, which obviously is our bloodlines and our heritage, man. And that's,
Right.
you know,
Yep. Yeah. I myself had no such upbringing or knowledge or even mention of being what we were when I was growing up. Although it was assumed Irish, and it is in a partly that. But I never really discovered this at all, Scotty, until I had my own family and decided to start to figure that out. Glasgow Lands was the first place I went to with my young daughter at the time, and walked into the Macintosh tent there was the first time. Any, I had been at a festival or talked to anyone about it, and they looked at my name and they said, "You're a Hatton,"
that's awesome.
and I said, "I'm a what?" And here we are now, and here's Scotty and I now having a great conversation.
Right. And see, it doesn't matter what time you come into it. What matters is you came into it, right? Is that's what matters. You came into it and you're able to spread it with your family, and you're able to spread it with your friends and with this greater, wider audience
Right.
through through this amazing technology that we're blessed with.
Yep.
You know, that was part of the reason why you know, I fell in love with photography when I
Yes.
was in my early teens, and I got a camera handed to me once, and I was like, this is awesome, and then it was always a passion and a hobby of mine since, and I got pretty serious into it for about 5, 6 years in the early 2010s after my father passed. I started doing it for money at events and nightclubs and stuff like that
Oh, okay.
in the New York City and Boston area, Providence area. And you know, and then when I started going back to Highland Games years ago and started reconnecting with my roots and my heritage and stuff, and realized I should have never left it, and know that was where my heart was, and I should have always been there. So I'm going around all these events, and I'm noticing there's a few people shooting photo or video. There's a
Okay.
few, but there's not really any at much.
Right.
And I'm like, I made a comment to my friend who came with me once. I'm like, you know, maybe I should bring maybe I should bring my camera gear with me, and I should do some photos, and like spread some awareness of this stuff like that.
Right.
And I did. And there's still not hardly men. There's still hardly any of us. Literally, it's you. Every event I go to, you're there. You are. You're going around and you are doing a video tour or photo tour of every event,
Yep.
and then depending upon where you go, like Loon Mountain, you know, um, you'll
Right.
see you'll see some people, but
Yep.
it's just wanting
Yeah.
to spread the culture and the heritage, and get more exposure for it.
Right. Yep. Well, we've only about 3 minutes left or so,
Okay,
Scotty. This has been fantastic. This has been everything I hoped it would be. I hope you feel the same, and everyone out there, I hope you
absolutely,
enjoyed this as well. Um, Kind of a snapshot
absolutely,
of the Highland Games with Scotty Locke. This has been really good, and I'm glad we encompassed your early days, discovering your heritage and that kind of a thing in the New York angle of all that, Connecticut. A lot of things that I didn't realize. That's why I wanted Scotty on here. Like I say, Scotty fills in the gaps for me when I can't be at places. He fills me in on what happened and what goes on and who was there and when and why. It's been beautiful, Scotty.
absolutely, man. Listen, I'd love to come on again and continue the conversation with you, man. Anytime you want.
Yep, sounds
You know,
great. Sounds good.
love to definitely hear more about. We need to hear more about your side of things. Why don't we do a part two where you hear about your side of things, and you can deep dive into what made you do this awesome series that you're doing as Touch Not.
Interesting.
I
Huh.
think that'd be pretty cool.
Turn the tables. I don't know what to say. I guess I'm speechless here for a moment,
Oh,
huh?
you'd be all right. You'd be all right, my friend.
All right. Well,
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome, Scotty. Say hi to Gavin, Scotty's son Gavin. I met him down at the Connecticut games, and enjoy the holidays with him and your family, Scotty.
I will. Thank you, and same to you. Enjoy it with your family. I hope you have a great one. And if I don't talk to you before New Year's, Slán se va, my friend.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Scotty. Once again, Scotty Lock, my friends. Thanks for being with
Cheers.
us, everyone. Touch not.
Touch not.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.